Hey everybody, it's just me, Bob, and it's time for Bob Saget's Here for You. That is correct. That is the perky title of this show, and I'm very excited because I'm going to reach out to people, and I think people are wanting to talk right now. And when I did it on the previous episode, it was just so nice and to talk to people and hear how they're doing, and I genuinely care. I'm like, a doctor, but not one at all. And I'm like a therapist, but not one at all. But, I don't know. People feel like they know me. I don't know because they grew up watching me or making fun of me. and then, and then I did stand up and got a whole new audience that, like watched me and then made fun of me. But anyway, I like to think of myself as your friend in a way. I kind of treat all people the same unless they give me a reason otherwise. I'd like to think most people are kind. I know the truth because we all see what's going on. We all feel, a lot of different things right now. A lot of pain in the world, and yet there's wonderful solace in people that are broadcasting or are doing artistic stuff, and especially during a time where there's not a lot of outlets for people to hear stuff and to see stuff that makes them feel better, or they're going through a breakup, or they're by themselves. And this is for everybody. What I'm doing, it's something I've kind of always wanted to do, but didn't think it was the right time. And this feels like a better time than ever, especially because I'm kind of cooped up. I'm strapped to a wall, and my wife comes in and throws pudding at my head, just to make me feel like something's going on. And then we watch, some shows I never would have watched in my life, like Love is Blind. I never would have watched that. But this time right now, I've seen the whole season, and I'm never going to recover because it's who meets somebody in a pod? I mean, a pod is where you pee because there's peas in a pod. And somebody else said to me, and that's just a dad joke. I'm well aware. People could criticize me for things, but I'm well aware. I'm a good self-critic, so don't worry. Somebody said that my TikTok wasn't great and you shouldn't follow me and I'm not putting effort into it. What do you want me to fucking dance? Like jump around and I try to dance and it's like, okay, I just don't. I love doing it, and I love the music that I'm singing if I'm on a TikTok. But it's like, why are you critiquing that? Is my question. And why would it be mean? Because the reason I'm doing it is to try to make somebody laugh or just be heartfelt, or I don't know. I don't know why people criticize people, because I don't really criticize anybody except, about 10,000 people, but I do it privately. I don't go on public and, I don't go political and make fun of people or chastise people for their religious beliefs, except for, people of my own faith. No, that'll get me in trouble because I do have love for most people unless they prove otherwise. And then there's negative people that go, hey, we're all in the same boat. And then somebody go, yeah, the Titanic. And that's like, okay, that was clever. But a lot of people survived that. That guy that stole the baby and pretended it was his baby, and then he got on the side boat and escaped, that bastard. But as long as, I'm not going to talk about Titanic. There's no reason, because this is all the stuff we're going through right now is stuff we're going through right now. And people always say, hearts and thoughts and, but I actually am sending as much energy out into the universe, if you're going to say, which might be too, some people would go, oh, universe, oh, why not God? Why not? I don't know, because I just wanted to cover everybody, sending good thoughts to everyone. So I'm here. I'm your friend. I'm here for you. There's a bunch of stuff. If you want to call me, because I'm going to call people now. People called up this number, which is up there, right up there. You can look at it right on the thing. And I'll be posting on Instagram and Twitter and tell you, I'll be calling you today. Leave your number and what you want to talk about. And I've got a list of a bunch of people that I'm going to call. And so I'm going to start off by trying to call Marissa right now. And so here we go. And so you're going to hear, all kinds of stuff. You'll be hearing phone ringing, and that would be the phone ringing. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Is this Marissa?
Yeah.
That is so good. That is great. It's Bob Saget calling you back.
Is this really Bob Saget?
Yeah, I know. Why would I fake this voice? It's weird but when I'm out in public, people will say, "You know who you look like is Bob Saget. Are you him?" And I'm like, "Why would I get plastic surgery to look like Bob Saget?" You know. So I am he, and it was nice of you to call that number and leave a message. And how are you doing? How are you holding up through all this crazy world stuff?
Oh, well, we're hanging in there. I'm actually putting you on speaker in front of my family just so I know if this is even real or not.
No, it's real. Hi, family. It's Bob Saget. Uh, this is the story of how I met your mother. That's how I validate that it's me. Um, and they can hear me right now.
Yeah, they can.
Okay. Well, I'm waving to
Hi.
them in spirit. How many people in your family are there? Who's there?
My dad and my sister, Alexa.
Well, hello, guys. And you're all. Are you staying at home together?
Yeah, we are. It's a little crazy. That's why I've been living most of my life on Twitter.
Right.
And so I always do these celebrity things sometimes every once in a while to see if it's really true.
Right. Well.
But yeah, I guess we're just all kind of waiting this out and seeing what goes on. I'm self-employed, so I have no choice but to stay home right now.
Right.
And I'm a cosmetologist, and my sister's in school for vet tech. So, yeah. Do you have a joke or anything to see if this is real?
Well, yeah. I mean, I just tweeted a little bit ago. If you look at your phone, I actually tweeted that I went, "Oh my God, I'm cleaning everything and I'm vacuuming and I'm sanitizing." I've actually
right now.
I said I've actually turned into Danny Tanner. So it's
Oh.
and then
Oh, wow.
yeah. So yeah, that's what I just put out there. It's funny that you need proof from me. What can I tell you?
I don't even really know what's going on with the country right now, so I don't know what to believe.
No, you're better off not watching the news. I mean, we need to have information so we're safe. We need to listen to all that stuff. But if you watch too much of it, it can really be upsetting if you follow it all day, which I do sometimes. But did you have a question or a subject? Because that'll prove to you whatever you recorded on the number, which was my voice, and you recognize that. So.
Well, is Fuller House, I know, are they supposed to be releasing new episodes anytime soon?
Well, I just talked to John Stamos about that on an episode a few episodes ago, and he actually we don't know when Netflix is putting out those last 9 episodes, but they did it in 2 separate segments. They did 18 episodes, the final 5th season on Netflix. So the last 9, they'll be. I wouldn't be surprised if they move them up a little bit because a lot of people are not going anywhere and they really want them, and the fans are really wanting them. And I think that people that are fans of the show will really love the last 9, and I particularly have affinity for the last episode. It actually, I got very emotional, which is really weird, but Danny Tanner always did get emotional, right? You would sit down and tell Michelle not
I'm emotional. I hope this isn't the end for that family.
No, the family stays alive. The family's okay, but and John Stamos says he has plans for the future, that there'll be more of it. I don't know how that would happen, but he has dreams.
I hope so.
Well, I
hope so. A movie or something.
So you watched all of Fuller House as well?
Yeah. Well, I kind of grew up. I'm a '90s baby, so
right.
I kind of grew up the old school style of binge watching, and then now I keep up with Fuller House on Netflix.
It's interesting. I did not know, and Full House runs on Hulu now, and it's never gone off the air, and we did 8 years of it, right? And I never understood what it was really until years later. Well, during it, people would say to me, like, "Hey, I lost my mom, and your show would make me feel better," just hearing how you guys parented. And we were originally kind of a takeoff of the movie 3 Men and a Baby. So, they didn't know who the mom was. In this case, it was tragedy. and then John Stamos and Dave Coulier come in to raise the kids. That's that's a perfect normal family situation. But there was so much love.
Absolutely.
But there was so much love amongst the cast that I think that came through, and I'm so proud because I do all kinds of comedy. I do stuff that maybe your dad would laugh at late at night. And your dad's listening to this, right?
Yeah, he's
What is your name,
When's
sir?
the next time you do a stand-up special?
That's a good question, and I'm really happy you asked, and I'm flattered. Well, because of all that's happened, I've had to move all my stand-up tour dates, and so I was planning to shoot a new special in the fall because I have a brand new hour, and it's not quite as R-rated. I don't know. I've gotten sentimental. I'm talking about stories about when I was a kid and how things are now, and but in my way, it still wants to entertain people and be funny. So I don't know when I can film it because what I need to do first is go out and get the tour, and get the set really perfect. And so that would probably be the beginning of next year because of what's gone on this year. So, and then a lot of my dates have been rescheduled into the fall, and people can see that on my website. So, where are you guys located? Where are you? What city?
Toledo, Ohio.
Oh, okay. Well, I've got dates in Ohio. I'm playing Cleveland and I'm playing Cincinnati. And I've been to Toledo a lot. So that's not too far a drive, right?
Yeah, no, not at all. We will travel to Detroit for shows sometimes, Toledo.
Well, that's what I've got. I've got a Detroit show, a Cincinnati show, and not Toledo, but Cleveland show. And we're in the process of moving them right now. I think to November is what I believe, the second week in November. So it's after elections, so we can all just be over all that trauma. And so if you go to one of those shows and just look it up on bobsaget.com, and then you go to the box office or talk to someone, or just hit me on Twitter or whatever, I can make sure that you can come backstage and I can say hi to you guys, and I can and I'll prove to your dad that it was me, and just say it's Marissa.
I think I'm the one that needs more proof than anything.
Well,
I like to pinch you right now if this is true.
Oh no, it's true. I swear. How can I prove it? Ask me a question that only Bob Saget would know.
I don't even know. Well, this is crazy.
Yeah, it is. It is interesting. Well, that's what I was excited about, to do a podcast, because I wanted to reach out to people, especially now. So
yeah, absolutely. That's all we need right now is just comedy and some light, heartfelt laughter. That's what I'm here to.
That's kind of what that's why I wanted to be a doctor when I was young, but I was so stupid I couldn't get through science or anything, and the only numbers I understand is how many people are in the audience. But cosmetology, you can't do your work right now, right? You can't come in contact.
Nope.
Wow.
Nope. I've been in the industry since I was 17, and I've been working as a booth rental nail tech for the last couple of years. So it's safe to say this is a stressful time, but I have faith in it all. I lost my mom about 3 years ago, right before Christmas,
I'm so sorry.
Was working a lot at that time. So, it's just things like this, the community and everyone's love and support that gets us through these hard times. And that's kind of all we need right now is just positivity in the world. You're
so right. And that's I'm tearing up a little bit. I lost both my parents and both.
I didn't mean to make you do that.
No, it is what I don't mind. I'm an emotional dude, but I lost both my sisters. It's been a rough go, which makes a comedian. That's how you become one, because you either get through it or you go crazy or you go into solitude. But I'm real sorry about your mom.
Well, thank you. And geez, I hope you can make, a bunch of other people's nights like you just made mine.
Oh, that's so nice, Marissa. Thank you. Thank you. And definitely, seriously, when you see where I'm at, whether it be Cleveland or Cincinnati or Detroit. I think that Cincinnati's at the Taft Theater and Cleveland is at another really cool spot. I'm trying to remember. I can't, but it's on my website. So if you go and look at that, you go, wow, this guy is definitely Bob Saget, because how could he know his own tour dates? Or how could I not know my own tour dates? So I will see you backstage at one of those shows near the end of the year,
Yes.
and things will be better then, and you'll be back. Oh, I had one question for you. What's the weirdest?
Yeah.
What's the weirdest thing you had to deal with working on somebody's face?
Oh gosh, people are crazy. I mean,
Yeah.
I can't even begin to think of like what I've had toenails fly in my mouth. That's disgusting, but that's
Oh
why I
my
also don't want
God.
to go to work. But I don't know. Women are crazy. They will bring their. I mean, it's like I joke. In addition to being a cosmetologist, we're real life therapists. So
Yeah.
you hear everyone's crazy stories, but
My hair cutter
there's
is
so
one of
much.
my therapists, but he doesn't fly toenails into my mouth. That's do people come in and
I don't know why I chose to do nails.
you don't do like Botox and stuff like that, do you?
No, I have my full cos license, but unfortunately, I did not choose to take that route. Ohio and Michigan are pretty strict states, so right now there's not much you can do in that field unless you go on to some sort of more medical training.
Right. Well, that's okay. I mean, I'm not a big fan of it. It's hard to believe, but I've never had anything done. I know it's shocking.
Yeah.
I had my nose made longer. That's what I did. But do people ask for like more makeup than they should have? Then they end up looking more clownish sometimes?
Well, nails do get a little crazy. Like I'm finding out right now during this pandemic that it shows people's characters if all they're freaking out about is having a broken nail.
Right. So you tell them to file it.
Yeah. So there is a lot. I mean, it is a process more than what a lot of people might know. But
right.
As far as makeup goes, I fortunately don't get to do that side of it because hair and makeup are a little bit more of I think people do take that even more seriously versus nails are easier to fix. So I'll just keep my anxiety levels where I think they should stay.
Yeah, as long as they don't fly in your mouth, it's all good.
Yeah.
My wife's a big fan of the gel. The gel. Do you like the gel stuff?
Gel polish. Yeah. Well, actually, it's a funny story. This week has been crazy. In addition to coronavirus, I decided to move out of one salon and haven't gotten moved into the other. So I'm currently wiping down and re-swatching over 1,000 bottles of gel polish and nail polish. So there's lots of many colors. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, please continue. There's so many colors.
There's so many colors, but it's kind of time. I do want to go back to college to look into cosmetic science to actually be in more of the lab side of it and get into making all that stuff. So it's a cool field regardless of whether you're in the field performing the services or creating them.
Well, do a lot of people bite their nails? Is that kind of a problem for a lot of people? So they have to have the ones attached and glued on?
Well, I think that's why the gel polish has been so successful because it prevents people from biting and picking at their nails, but you're not committing to a full artificial nail.
Right. But this is a real nail biting time we're living, right?
Oh, I'm sure.
Now you know it's me.
But I just go straight to getting the pliers and ripping them off.
See, with that nail biting thing, that's just a dad joke, a dumb pun, so that I would do on America's Funniest Home Videos.
Real.
So it's me now. So, well, I can't thank you enough. Well, thanks for sharing your
giving us a call.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you. And I hope you have a great night and your family stay safe and healthy.
You too. And I send my best to you and your family and your dad. It was nice to talk to you for a moment, sir. Thanks for sharing the time.
Yeah, thank you. Hopefully we'll get to meet you in person.
Yes, I'm serious about that. Just say it's Marissa from the podcast, and you're there. And the show is called Bob Saget's Here for You, and that's it. So thank you so much.
Wow. Well, thank you. Have a great rest of your night.
Thank you. You too, Marissa. Bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye-bye. Bye.
That's so nice. It's so funny that I had to defend that I was me, which I have to do that sometimes, but that's only when I call people, it's weird when I call an airline. That's kind of scary. And then they go, is this Bob Saget? And then they have all my information. And then I get scared. They have literally everything. They have my credit card. They've got the whole deal. And he goes, I really like your work. And then, are you performing? And then all of a sudden I've got a guy from the airline coming backstage, say hi. So it's nice to reach out to people, and I'm going to reach out to some more in just a minute because we're going to take a little break. So just enjoy this break. All right, we are in uncertain times right now. And in this world, in our insurance marketplace, Policy Genius talks a lot about how unpredictable the future is. And that's why insurance exists in the first place, because you got to protect yourself, you got to be safe. And right now, life is unpredictable, and it's scary for a lot of people. And that word I just said was unpredictable. I didn't want you to think I was doing some kind of new kind of slang. Life is unpredictable. But there are enough brands out there telling how we're all in this together, and you hear it a lot. But instead, here's Policy Genius's top 3 unpredictably positive things from April. Thousands of dogs and cats across America have found new homes. You might not think that's important. I do. I want to know they got a home. Everyone is a baker now, and fresh bread is the best smell ever. That's a fact. Everybody's baking. I'm growing yeast right now. People across the world are acting with kindness, compassion, and heroism. That is a fact. That makes you feel good. That there are heroes out there that you didn't even know they were heroes. People on the front lines that have been taking care of a lot of our sick people right now. And it's a very, very sensitive time. Now, there's no graceful segue here because this is I'm sponsoring something, but Policy Genius is an insurance marketplace, and there's a big demand for life insurance right now. So if you're looking to get life insurance, here's how they can help. It's important. It's important to understand what life insurance is. I have it. I've had to have it. I have 3 daughters. I have a wife. I want to be able to take care of people if I can. Policy Genius is one of those places that can help you. It compares quotes from the top life insurance companies in one place, and it just takes a few minutes to compare quotes from the top insurers to find your best price. Now, this doesn't just save a lot of legwork. You could save $1,500 or more a year by using Policy Genius to compare life insurance policies. Now, once you apply, the Policy Genius team will handle all the paperwork and red tape. It's free, and they're in contact with the life insurance companies every day, and they're monitoring developments and helping customers navigate every step. And it's important to navigate every step because some people, if you don't step right and you fall down a flight of stairs, you'll be fine. We got a lot of heroes out there. But if you're not, you got Policy Genius, and they'll help you. But they won't help you up the stairs, but they'll sure help you take care of your life and your people that you care about. So if you're one of the many people looking to buy life insurance right now, but you're not sure where to start, just simply go to policygenius.com. Policy Genius will find you the best rate, and it'll handle the process completely. You can really stop worrying about life insurance and get back to breaking your bread and adopting a furry friend, even if it's not an animal, it's just like a Sasquatch kind of thing, just kind of an Ewok, or just being a kind and considerate human being, which is kind of the purpose of what I'm doing here. It's why I'm doing this show. That's all I have to say. Go to policygenius.com, policygenius.com. That's what you do with commercials, right? Policygenius.com. You just say it over and over again, or you come up with a jingle. Policygenius.com. Don't worry no more. What if you're hit by a door? Policygenius.com. All right. I don't own that song, so policygenius.com can have it. Thanks for listening to that. And it's a good thing to have. Take care of your family and try not to worry. Okay, we're back from the break. I don't know why I have to say that. It's kind of obvious. It was a good break. Sometimes breaks can be difficult. If they don't work. If you're pumping the brakes, if you're pumping anything and it breaks. If you're pumping and it breaks, you're going to need to go to some kind of special doctor, probably a urologist. That was something that shouldn't have been said, but don't matter. We're just here to, just relax you all and calm you down, and then you just kind of fall asleep. That's what this is. This is a real special episode where I just help you sleep. But in the meantime, let's hit up Matt, because Matt is a guy who I have a feeling is a really good guy. Sounds like he needs some cheering up. So I'm going to talk to him about that right now and see what I can do in my own therapeutic, comedic way, if I can.
Hello?
Hi, Matt. It's Bob Saget here. How are you doing?
Bob Saget.
Yeah,
I'm
thanks for leaving a message.
yeah, man. I'm having a weird day, but it's a day.
Yeah, I know. So what's going on?
Uh, quarantined-ish in the state of Washington.
Right.
Small business owner, got employees working today, even though we're thinking maybe we should close completely for a while.
Right.
Grandpa was on the verge of bad things. Worried about my aunt who lives with him because she's in bad health too. Living a weird situation.
Yeah, you got your hands full right
And
now. Is your grandfather doing any better?
no, he passed.
Oh, I didn't quite hear that. So you lost your...
Yeah, it's okay. He passed today.
Matt, your grandfather passed away today? Oh,
Yeah,
oh
this
God,
morning.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay, man. It's been like this is the funny list. Like at some point you just kind of have to go, this is life. My mom passed in November, right around Thanksgiving.
I'm sorry.
And it just kind of started going from there. And it's been a journey, but it has to stop at some point, I figure.
It does.
So.
Life is. I've lost both my parents. I lost two sisters. My whole life, I lost an uncle every couple years that were in their 40s, and I just lost a friend who was 59, and it's just it's so hard to keep going. And then I sometimes go to like gallows comedy, because it's just at a point you're like, am I going to lose it completely? Or am I just going to go, this is just, this has just been the shittiest time, and it's so painful.
Yeah.
And I'm so sorry you're going through it. I feel it, man. I've been there. And now we got this other stuff going on. So that's almost nothing to you, even though it's so serious, because with work, you've got people you're responsible for. And then, oh man. What kind of business
and
is
worried
it?
about infecting my aunt. I own a board and card game store. I sell nerd stuff.
Oh, that's a fun thing. You're supplying entertainment. That's so weird.
We are. We had to close our play space. There's a lot of Dungeons and Dragons nerds that got upset about that last night.
Oh, you don't want to get that. You don't want them upset. I mean, they take it.
No.
They take it very seriously.
Yeah, they do. But at the same time, we've been having a run of people coming in and buying a lot of two-player games to play with their significant other and their roommates. And we're set to do an interview with the local newspaper tomorrow about it.
Right.
And some good stuff's going on there. But it's funny you mentioned doing the comedy and stuff. I watched your special. I watched you talk about Tourette's guy. Because I'm not gonna lie, the stuff was funny to me. When I was going through all this stuff with my mom, and I've done a little bit of stand up in the past, and I'm by no means very good, but I used to host the night, and because they make you host, that's what you have to do.
Of course, I did that at the Comedy Store for like 8 years. Where did you do it in Seattle?
Vancouver, Washington.
You're in Vancouver, Washington. Boy, am I misinformed.
The small little. No, it's all good, man. It's all good.
I just had to cancel.
Got this information relayed to you.
I was about to come up there, and I had to reschedule. I was going to play in Vancouver, Richmond. I was going to be at the River Rock, and I'll be there in the fall. We rescheduled it, but it was like right when this whole thing was happening. That's when I had to schedule my Canada dates. But please continue though. So.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't mean to step on.
No,
you were saying comedy for a while,
right? And there was one of my specials where I talked about the guy that's on the web, and every time and it's called Tourette's guy, but he's comedic about it, and he's every time he gets hurt, he yells at my name as a curse word instead of cursing. But what were you going to say? It was kind of like sensitive because there's people that really have it.
I was gonna say, as also having done comedy and stuff, I get like filtering some of the stuff into the dark stuff into the joke.
Yeah.
And when I was in the hospital with my mom when she was passing, and she'd had strokes, and I slept in a little chair in the hospital next to her bed. Like, all I could think was like how weird it was and how I desperately wanted to get on stage and do comedy for the first time in years.
Yeah.
And I wanted to talk about what it was like waking up next to my mom with morning wood. And like, it's okay because she didn't know because she was dying. You know,
right.
And I'm not working. This isn't supposed to be funny right now. This is the gist of it.
No,
right?
but it's therapeutic. I've done it. I did it. My dad passed away, and I went right to do stand up. And even both my parents' funerals had a lot of laughs. People were, because my mom said she was going to, and I did this in one of my specials. She said she was going to come. I think it was on my last one, 0 to 60. She said she was going to come back as a dove. Because she saw a bar of Dove soap in hospice. She saw this bar of Dove soap, and the joke is like, this is great. She's doing death improv. And then the real punchline was, oh my God, I'm scared of doves now. And it's kind of true. When I see a dove, I think of my mom, and I'm not scared.
Yeah.
But I'm scared it's going to be a talking dove, and it'll be her voice. That's what I'm legitimately.
It's better that than soap.
Yeah,
at least you're not afraid of the soap.
No, only in showers, or if I ever go to prison. I shouldn't have to, but that's when you're afraid of it. You want retractable soap, just.
And there's also a Prince joke there somewhere, but I don't know what it is. Not yet.
Yes, when doves cry.
About doves crying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When this is bad. This is what it sounds like when doves die, and then you just kind of.
Oh, there we go.
It's a pun, and it's in poor taste. So then you'd have to go, oh, and that's it, which is the sound of a dying dove, which does. But see, you're laughing at it because what else can we do? Some people get offended by it, and I feel bad about that. And then I'm cautious about it. But then, I mean, you just laughed, and for me, that's why I'm doing this. This is very comfortable for me to talk to you, and I'm kind of honored that you're feeling blue, which is from the 40s. I don't think anybody said that since Grapes of Wrath, but I'm honored that you wanted to talk to me on one of the crappiest times that you've had.
Man, you've been a comfort in a lot of different periods of my life in a weird way. Like I said, like I was raised on Full House. And then I spent my 20s and my early 30s watching a lot of Entourage. Like every couple of years, I repeat the whole series just as a comfortable watch. Scrubs is the other one I do.
Are you watching any of this new stuff? Are you watching this dating thing that my wife had me watch, and then I got caught up because we were all trapped in the house, and so it's Love is Blind. Have you seen that?
I watched the first episode, but it was way too triggering. Like, those people are infuriatingly hard to watch.
Because they know nothing about relationships. And they all use the same terminology. They all go like, my soulmate, and we had the emotional connection, but we didn't have the physical connection. But I think those are buzzwords the producers gave them, I think they just kind of teed it up. But it was very watchable. I couldn't stop. And it's the kind of thing that my wife knows I would never watch. And then here I am going, you know what? We got to watch these last two. It's like, oh my God. It took a pandemic to get me to get obsessed with this show. Because I'm like,
did you get into Jessica the Messica?
Yeah. How do you not? How can you not?
She's amazing. She's a train wreck.
And then
she's a hot mess.
Well, there it is. Is it your kind of person? Is that your kind of gal?
No, God, no. It's a fascinating thing that you can't look away from. But like, honestly, the reason I couldn't get into it, or like I shied away from it, this is another like, here we go on an overshare. I spent almost all of last year in a long distance relationship with someone where we spent most of our time on the phone. We had met in person, but because I travel for a living personally, despite owning a store, I met her while I was in Texas. I spent a lot of time in Texas last year. She actually, when my mom was dying, was like, I can't leave my family. So we broke up the same day that my mom died.
Oh, man.
So I'm watching the show and I'm getting triggered about that. And I'm like, I can't watch this right now.
No.
But it's ridiculous.
You're due for some goodness. You're due for, and I'm telling you, I know it from experience. I'm 63 years old now, although you wouldn't know it because I have the testicles of a very young man. But
Yeah, and black don't crack.
that's
Oh, wait,
right.
no, never mind. Wait,
No,
wrong saying. Forgot. Sorry.
boys don't cry. No, that's a different thing.
There we go.
That's a movie. But I just know that you go through these waves, and it feels like there's no light at the end of the tunnel. And right now, I'm just telling you, I know that it's going to turn around. It's going to get positive, and then even people I've talked to during the whole Corona pandemic, it's all been, there's so much negative and so much, pain involved, and people that are sick and people that are so scared. But then at the end of the day, you realize, wait a minute, I'm connecting with people that I wasn't. I'm not with them physically, but I'm on the phone and I'm talking to relatives and I'm talking to friends and I'm texting people that I haven't heard from, and everybody's going, "Are you okay?" And then you're going, "Wait a minute, I have more of a life than I thought I had." But you've got to. How do you do a funeral right now? That's a question I have.
Oh man, so that's a great question. We haven't, even for my mom, and she passed right after Thanksgiving, like I said, and that's been 4 months ago, and we haven't even done hers. I'm sitting on her ashes, and we just haven't figured out when or how. And now, fortunately, my grandpa didn't have a lot of friends, so he wouldn't even want a service. But we're going to do something private, obviously. But
right, are you going to do the cremation? Are you going to put him in the refrigerator, or not the you know what I mean? I didn't mean.
I do.
So don't put him in the refrigerator.
No, in the freezer, chest freezer.
Because my mom said you could. Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh no, go ahead. Your mom said what? Go ahead. What's with her body? I want to hear this.
My mom said that you could freeze anything. So when she passed, we froze her. That's it. She's in my freezer right next to the wedding cake.
Well, I think it was a Jackass routine where they were trying to they got one of the guys, like grandmothers, and they were taking her to taxidermist trying to get a quote on getting her stuffed when she passed.
And it was a real person. It was a real cadaver.
They got like one of the guys. No, she's alive, and they're bringing her in, and they're like, "This is my grandmother. When she passes, how can we get her stuffed?" And she had a good sense of humor about it.
My dad used to say that. My dad, my mother had a brother who was a terrible guy. And my dad used to say that when he dies, they're going to just stuff him and use him as a hat rack. And I was like, it doesn't even makes no sense, because who has a hat rack? And I don't know many people that wear a hat. So
not anymore. At least not the sort of people you want putting a hat on a rack.
No, not on that
what
guy.
do you want to happen? When you go, when it's your time.
Well, my parents want me to be buried next to them, and the cemetery keeps trying to get me to buy a plot, and I'm like, I don't even want to think about it. I got to live another 40 years because I got 1 million people I take care of. So I'm going nowhere. I got one of my dearest friends is 97 years old, and he is Norman Lear, this legend of television, and he's still working. And I'm going by his motto. I'm just working till the end of it, and being with the people I love and trying to take care of them.
I know you got to get going, and all of that is so true, and it made me realize that, I mentioned Full House, I mentioned Entourage, I mentioned some of your stand-up. I cleared through almost all of How I Met Your Mother as was happening every year. You were there for that too. You know, I didn't even think about that for some stupid reason. I'm like, shit, man, I listen to this guy's voice like every week religiously.
It's weird. Thank you. But I was an accident. I wasn't even credited by choice. I was like, no, this is why. When they asked me to do it, I said, why can't Josh Radnor do it? And they said, no, we need an older version of him. And then Josh and I are friends. He's this really special guy. And if you look at him on Twitter, he puts out a YouTube page where he's singing a lot of songs right now and trying and he's a great actor. He's doing when things are back to normal, he'll get back to his jobs. He's just a very special, thoughtful guy. So it wasn't like we became two Ted Mosbys. It was really special. and I knew all the people on the show. Allison Hannigan used to be my babysitter when she was 16, which is it's just a small weird world.
Right before she was Willow. Yeah.
But before, when she was in a movie called My Stepmother is an Alien, I believe, with Kim Basinger, and
yeah, wow, I forgot about that.
it's weird. She was a kid, and her mother was a mover and helped my ex-wife and I move. And that's how we met her. And then asked Allison to babysit our kids. And she saw my oldest daughter at the last table reading of How I Met Your Mother when everybody was crying because of how they did it. And she was so happy to see my oldest daughter, Aubrey, there. It was, there's more than just a bunch of crappy showbiz people. There's some real people with some good hearts, just like everybody else, just like yourself and the people that work with you. And I just hope, I look forward to the next time we talk, and it'll be maybe if I'm doing stand up near your way, or when I come back to the River Rock up in Vancouver or Richmond. That's not that far from you, right?
I'm in the other Vancouver. I'm right outside Portland, Oregon.
Boy, I keep getting it wrong. It's unbelievable. Don't show me a map. Good, man. Yeah, but Carmen Santiago would pee in my eye.
You know where Portland, Oregon is, right?
And I'm just how far are you?
Right there on the other side of the river.
So how far is Portland from you? Because I'll be going back there too.
30 minutes.
Oh, cool. So I'll either go to
if you were. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I'll either play a theater there or Helium, because I like that place to work out new stuff, and I'm working on a new special, which once I'm able to get back on the road, I'm just rescheduling all my gigs right now. But when I'm there, come backstage, and I will know. Just say it's Matt from your podcast, and you'll come backstage and we'll talk for a little bit. It'd be nice to meet you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just keep a lookout when I'm up in that area, and then just tell them it's Matt, and it'll be great to hear how you're doing, because I know you're going to come through this. Yeah. And I'm sorry, but I'm really appreciative you wanted to talk to me on the day that you lost your grandfather.
I appreciate that. It does mean the world to me. Thank you. I really do mean that.
It means a lot to me too, actually. So just take care of yourself. Be good to yourself, okay?
Yeah, you take care. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Matt. Be well. I'll talk to you.
Bye.
Thanks. Now that is just a special thing. I mean, I'm calling to try to be funny, and I'm calling to try to make, remember Field of Dreams with Kevin Costner, ease his pain. And to ease people's pain is what comedy is about. It's about bringing people together, or if you're doing it through whatever broadcasting, whether it be this or whether it be, in television or movies, if you can ease someone's pain, and humor is one of the biggest ways, what a gift that is to be able to do that. And for him to laugh when I wasn't cutting him off, because I am a bit of a ham when it comes to, being on the air. But he's just he's a strong guy. Man, he just lost his grandfather today. And this is a story of how I lost my grandfather. See, I didn't want to say that to him, and I hope he's laughing listening to this right now. Matt, please know that's it was meaningful to talk to you, man. So I'm going to make another call right after this break. Support for Bob Saget's Here For You is brought to you by Manscaped. That's right, Manscaped, the best in men's below-the-belt grooming. I knew somebody that used to be the best at it, but not now. Not now that Manscaped's in the game. Manscaped offers precision-engineered tools for your family jewels. Somebody wrote that, but you know what? Think about it. A tool for your tool. That's amazing. You won't even be a tool anymore if you're all Manscaped. It's just more endearing. You're more childlike, and yet you're cool and metro. Well, I have a story about not having groomed. It was pretty bad back in the day. It was really bad. I mean, I had like a nanny goat beard down there, and small little critters would want to climb in it and use it as a tree swing when I would have my legs parted down at the swim pond, down at the lake. But I will tell you, it's important to keep yourself groomed, because you're not going to meet anybody. And even if you're alone, say you're all alone, you're not with anybody, you're just holed up in your place. You want to be able to see the hold up area. You want to see all those nooks and crannies. And to do that, you got to clean it up. Clean that thing up. And there's ways to do it. You know, you might not know how to even sit and pivot. You could sit in front of a little mirror. Say someone you know has a makeup mirror, and you could put it there right in front of your junk and clean it so you don't nick your bag. If you nick your bag, that was actually a joke of mine once, that I was going to change my name in Vegas to Nick Bag. So if you see Nick Bag up on the marquee, that's me. But I'm telling you, you got to just keep that groin area happy and airy and clean and groomed. And so what I'm going to tell you is something from the heart. Manscaped has redesigned the electronic trimmer. They have redesigned it. Do you know how much work went into that? The Manscaped engineering team spent 18 months. 18 months. Do you know what else they could have done? Nothing as important as this. They perfected the greatest ball hair trimmer ever created. That's right. This is a dream commercial. It's not even a commercial. It's a philosophy. That's what this is. And they just released, it was a quick release, but they released the new improved Lawnmower 3.0. That's right. You trim that lawn, you trim those hedges, you're going to have the most beautiful manscaping ever. Ever. Their third generation trimmer features a cutting edge ceramic blade to prevent manscaping accidents. And you know they happen within 2 blocks of your home. Millions of balls are about to be nick-free thanks to Manscaped's advanced skin-safe technology. Do you know how important it is? And as you get older, I'm a little bit older. I'm not an old man, but I'm middle-aged plus. And I don't want, they hang down. I'm sorry, but the sack gets saggy. And I'm Bob Saget. And you don't want to nick that stuff. You don't want to have someone like underneath the rooster hanging between your legs. You want to keep that stuff clean. You don't want to be cutting it with a razor. You don't want to be using scissors and a trimmer and then a razor, and then all that happens is you get hurt. You can't get hurt. Your junk is too important to the world. Manscaping accidents are finally a thing of the past. We've been waiting for this technology. This is the most important scientific breakthrough, I think, of this entire century. When I tell you this is premium, I mean premium. I mean unleaded. The battery will last up to 90 minutes, so you can take a longer shave. 90 minutes. Could you imagine just spending 90 minutes trimming up your ball sack? Do you know what a great use of 90 minutes that is? You could be doing a lot of things. You could be learning math. You could be doing your homework. You could be, splitting the atom. Why split atom if you can split hairs? Don't split the atom. Keep yourself groomed. Groom that thing. Are you listening to me? I'm talking to you, son. And one of the coolest features, by the way, is the LED light, which illuminates grooming areas for a closer and more precise trimming. It's an LED light. It's amazing. Limos don't have this kind of lighting. This is amazing. You can't trim yourself up in a limo with an LED light, and you don't know where that limo's been. You know where the Manscaper's been. You know where the Lawnmower 3.0 has been, because it's brand new when you get it. They've also upgraded to a 7,000 RPM motor with quiet stroke technology, and it's trademarked. 7,000 RPMs on your balls. There's nothing better than that. Nothing. Peace on earth, close second. And let's not forget about the charging stand. You have to have a charging stand. You show your mower off loud and proud right in the middle of the damn living room, right on the piano, because this intelligently designed stand is a convenient charging dock powered by USB. The USB plugs into anything. It's universal until 2 years from now when they come out with something better. But till then, there'll be converters. And if you're listening to me speak right now, I want you to experience it firsthand for yourself, in your first hand, whichever is the more dominant. You trim that junk of yours. You hear me? I'm like a dad to you. You trim your junk and you stay in school. Now, here's the big part. Well, I don't know if you got a big part, so I'm not judging. By the way, with manscaping, it makes it look bigger. And that alone, besides a magnifying glass, is the key to life. You can get 20% off and free shipping with the code SAGET, S-A-G-E-T, at manscaped.com. That was very hard to say without laughing, because my name is the code that gets you 20% off and free shipping, okay? You just put in the code SAGET at manscaped.com, and your balls will thank you, and I will thank you, and all of the listeners will thank you, because I'm almost done. 20% off and free shipping with the code SAGET at manscaped.com. 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com. Follo.com and use the code SAGET, SAGET. Finally, my name has a use. That was a good break. It's always good to have a break. You know, you deserve one today. No, I'm not going to I'm not doing a commercial for somebody that's not a sponsor. But if they're a sponsor, I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't fight off the Golden Arches because I think they have some food that's probably, you know, more healthy now, which is good. But then I watched that documentary. I better stop talking about them. I'm going to try one last call here because why not? Because I'm a people person. And here we go. This would be Kyle I'm calling. And I hope it's not South Park Kyle because that would be weird. But this is, that's really funny, Bob. That was a good one.
Hello.
Hey, Kyle, Bob Saget here. How you doing?
Hey, Bob. How are you, my friend?
I'm okay, sir. Thank you for leaving your message. That was nice of you. How you hanging in? How you doing?
I'm doing good. You know, with a lot of negativity, you know, I got to take it day by day, one day at a time. I always see, you know, with life or things in general, could it be better? Of course, but it could always be worse. So like during this time, it's just being grateful for what I have, you know, a great job, a loving family, a wonderful dog, and just it's small things like that, you know, during this time. It's just keeping gratitude of what you have.
I couldn't agree more. And it puts everything in perspective, doesn't it? It's
absolutely.
A lot of people take stuff for granted and they don't realize. I mean, my wife and I are, you know, we're spending all this time together and we're not really interacting with anybody. You know, just leave it behind the gate. You know, just people are, you know, dropping off contraband. No, I'm just kidding. But it's just you find out that there's good people, and that's why I'm doing this. Now, are you with your whole family right now, or are you solo by yourself?
So I am by myself in New York City. I've lived in New York for 5 years. My whole family actually lives in Wisconsin, and during times like this, it's tough. That I wish I could be with my mom and my dad. They're both in their 60s, and my sister is a senior in college, and they also have a dog who's 1 year old, Ziggy. So it's tough that I'm being isolated.
I'm sorry. And your dog is? Do you have a dog with you also?
No. It's just it's my parents' dog. But thankful for technology, they have a camera that I can watch him and, you know, say his name. Ziggy, come over.
Was he named after?
Recognize my voice.
Was he named after Biggie? The Biggie?
No, Ziggy.
David Bowie. Ziggy.
Ziggy Stardust.
Oh, that's better. Yeah, because you didn't end up well for Biggie. But Ziggy Stardust was just the shit. I mean, that was. So was Biggie. So was Twiggy. She was a model. I don't know. I'm Squiggy from Laverne and Shirley was pretty cool. So I got daughters I have daughters in New York City, and it's the same kind of thing. You know, it's an isolative time, and it's going to pass. You know that, and that's what we all have to have faith in that it will. And you called up with a question for me or something you wanted to talk about, so I'm here for you.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about, like I said, with my whole family in Wisconsin, and me being in New York. Who was someone that one of my heroes, and the reason why I moved to New York City from Wisconsin was Chris Farley.
Yeah.
During times like this, you know, it's watching things that made me happy and made me laugh. And these past couple of days, I've been watching SNL episodes and all of Chris Farley's movies. And right when I saw your message on Instagram, I'm not even lying, I was watching Dirty Work, and which was unfortunately Chris's last movie.
Yeah, and for those that don't know, I directed that movie, and then Norm Macdonald and I have been talking quite a bit lately, and you know, we really that was one of the hardest things to go through. One of the funniest people that will ever live, Chris Farley, and he just had some real issues that he couldn't control. And yeah, we were the last movie that he did, and then he was on Saturday Night Live hosting, and Norm Macdonald was making jokes about it during the news. We'll be back after Farley tries to catch his breath. But Chris was, my God, sweetest guy in the world, sweetest, and then just a classic comedian, just amazing. And it was. Go ahead. Sorry.
Go ahead, my friend. Sorry.
No, you go ahead, please.
It was actually the first time I saw Chris, I was 6 years old, and when I kept watching Dirty Work, I saw him on TV. It was the episode you were hosting. And I remember this. I have a really great memory. You did a skit where he was a fashion designer, Dante. And if I remember this correct, Bob.
You do. You remember it very correctly. And it was something that might not play today because it wasn't as politically correct as it should have been. We played it full out, and he was trying to use me sexually, and I was trying to have my way of conquering him with his ego. And during the sketch, I almost cracked up because I'm doing this sketch, and he goes, "Now go," like Jackie Gleason, like classic comedy, and he would point his hand out the doorway, and he was just, I couldn't look at his beady eyes through the glasses. I was gonna die because he was so funny. I couldn't believe it, how funny he was to look in the face, and so committed. I mean, he did not break, and he was just inherently, unbelievably talented and funny. And at that moment, his glasses, because of the sweat, started to slide down his nose, and I pushed them back up onto his face. And he was a very in the moment, real guy that doesn't break character. And he like blinked, like, what's going on here? It's like, but it didn't break the scene. It was like me just continuing, well, Dante, it was just silly. But his loss will always be felt because, the things he did, even when you think of Saturday Night Live, and he would interview Paul McCartney, and that whole thing, the Chris Farley show, that's Chris. Remember when you were with the Beatles? And like, yes. And he's like, oh my God, why did I ask that? And he would pull out his hair.
That was my favorite. Matt Foley was great, but Artie said it best. He was also on Dirty Work. Artie, I'm glad, he's doing well. He's doing great, staying strong, happy for him. But I remember Artie saying, and I agree with him, the Chris Farley show was the best of him because it was just Chris being Chris, where he's just, he's this lovable guy, and, you're Paul McCartney. You were in the Beatles. Yeah, and you remember when you played with them? Yeah, that was awesome. It was just him as purest Chris.
It was. And then there was Dead Air, where they would just both sit there. And it's kind of like Zach Galifianakis does his version of that, but Zach is kind of like a prick. And he's like, he'll do things just to get the guest angry. But it still stems from the same type of thing, but with a completely different character. It's just very funny to see an interview like that done by a really funny person. But Chris Farley, he would be the sweetest. One night we were shooting Dirty Work, and Chris was hanging out, and then all of a sudden everybody had to get rest because we had an early shoot the next day in this bar scene. That's when he hit the jukebox, and I think it was the first time someone used Pina Colada song in a comedy movie, because I used to open for Rupert Holmes, who wrote Pina Colada song when I was 22, 23 years old when the song came out. So I put it in the jukebox, Chris hits it, and then that's where we were. So that night, after we filmed that scene, all of a sudden, Dan Aykroyd, John Goodman, Artie, Norm, they all went to a strip club in Toronto. And I went, oh God, please don't take Chris. Don't take Chris. And they took Chris. So it was a bit awkward. It was not what, as the dad, when you're directing something, you don't want your kids to go off to Pleasure Island for the night. And it wasn't the healthiest thing for him to do, but I know he had fun. So that's good, I guess. But he is, we were editing the movie and Norm said to me, oh my God, it's like we're editing a ghost right now. It was really traumatic. I couldn't even go to his funeral. I was in so much pain over the whole thing. So I'm really glad.
Where were you when the news broke, Bob? Bob Chris.
I think I was with Norm. I think I was in editing. I think we were working on cutting dirty work. I'm pretty sure that's what we were doing. And Norm and I have a very interesting friendship. I mean, there's a lot of love there. And Norm's one of the funniest people on this earth. And there's nobody like him. And everybody took it hard. David Spade, of course, took it incredibly hard, and always will. And his manager, Mark Gorvitz, took it really hard and tried to help him, and his brother Kevin and Joe. I mean, it's just it's a rough thing. It's like when funny people go, when you lose, where are you? In a playground? You're not doing anything wrong, are you?
No. I was sitting at my laptop for about 12 hours working, and I was just like, you know what? I have to get outside. I have to walk. So as long as I stay 6 feet and hand sanitizer on, it's just like I can't sit and stare. So I was like, I got to get outside.
Well, just be safe. Just be safe. And it's good to keep like a gallon of hand sanitizer on your side like a holster and just hose people down when they come near you. Because and stay out of the way if anybody's like sadly living on the street, because sometimes, boy, the world is so screwed up. It's just there's so many people that need help.
I know, and it's tough. You want to help everyone. You see people on the street. You see those who might not have it as well as you do, and you want to help. You want to help everyone. But something I'm really passionate about is helping people with special needs, either helping people on the autism spectrum, whether it's find employment or find jobs. And it's something that hits to me, and it's you want to help everyone, but whatever time that I have, if I can make one person's life better, whether if it's through a conversation or helping a job or help someone get on their feet, it feels good. It feels good.
Well,
I always feel good about doing the right thing.
Well, you're just such a good person. You really are. You should be so happy with yourself in that regard, because you're doing what we're supposed to do. And, you're also, you got to take care of yourself too. So be careful, that you're not in harm's way through all this craziness. And I hope everything gets back to normal soon so that you can see your family. That probably would be the first thing you would do is go and be with them, right?
Yeah, I was originally going to go home. I usually go home during holidays. So for Easter, I was going to go home, and we were planning a vacation. And it's just during these unfortunate times, we can't. But as long as we take it, day by day, and know that eventually things will settle down, go back to quote unquote normal.
Right.
That I'll be able to see my family, see those that I love, and see, even coworkers you like. It's hard. It's hard, but
no, it's impossible. But it will happen. It will happen. This is not forever. This is a tough time that nobody's ever been through before, and it's going to be okay. It's going to be difficult, and you just got to take care of yourself and make sure that you follow the rules that they put down, because they're there for a reason. We've got real experts that are doing, like Tony Fauci. That guy's a hero. I've met him before. And because I try to help also with medical stuff. I lost a sister to a disease, scleroderma, so he was trying to be helpful years ago when I went to Washington to try to get some money from the NIH. And this guy is brilliant. I mean, he turned around HIV back in the day, and then when it resurfaced, he's still working on that. But right now, we've got to get this thing off the map, and make sure if it comes back, there's a vaccine for it, and people can live their lives and be safe. But I can't thank you enough. I can't thank you enough for the message, and I'm glad to hear you laugh a little bit. And just know that this too shall pass. Is that a skateboarder? Am I hearing a skateboarder?
Yeah, that just rolled by. I just squeezed some hand sanitizer at him.
Yeah.
Make sure that he's okay and I'm okay. So
You get some
like I said,
get ketchup and mustard bottles and just squirt it at him. Just do it like you're in the Old West. Well, just be safe. Exactly. Just be safe and send my best to your family, would you? And take care of yourself in the city. It's New York is to have seen Times Square empty was quite it's just incredibly bizarre and tragic, and it will pass. It will pass, and life will come back.
Well,
so,
and thanks for Bob. Thanks for making definitely my day better with the call, but also talk about someone that you and I both look up to and appreciate and adore. It's amazing, when people are gone. People are never gone. They might be gone physically, but they're always there in your head, and your heart. So even though Chris is gone, his spirit is always alive, and I feel that every day. That's
really beautiful, and I know people that were close to him and people that loved him appreciate you saying that.
I've had my challenges growing up. Definitely with school taking a little longer and learning disability, but
right.
It was people like Chris. Chris was a hard worker, and I wanted to work hard and show others that I can do it. And sometimes life is a marathon, not a sprint, and eventually get there. It might take a little longer, but if you work hard and kind to people and try to do the right thing every day, good things usually happen.
But
and that's like,
you're an inspiration.
Yeah.
You really are. You really are. And we all have challenges, but you've overcome some and are overcoming some pretty amazing things, and you care a lot, and that's to be cherished. You should really just be incredibly proud of yourself, because I'm honored that you wanted to talk to me. So I really enjoyed talking with you.
Same, Bob. Thanks for making my day.
Thank you. You take care of yourself, okay, kids? Spray that sanitizer at everybody.
Spraying it everywhere. Oh, I see people. Just sprayed some.
You be well and travel home safe.
Thank you.
Have a good night. Thanks so much, man.
You too, my friend.
Thanks. Talk to you. Bye-bye. Wow. This has been such a meaningful episode. I have been touched, and not in a physical way, which is comforting. And that's the good part about not being able to see your doctor right now, because I'm tired of getting that check. I don't need to have my prostate diddled right now. Make sure I'm okay. I got a wife. Wait a minute. That's not a good way to end this. I really enjoyed talking to these people. Such kind people. And I look forward to talking to you guys very soon. You got to do me one favor, which is with this episode, you got to rate it and review it and then subscribe. You want to subscribe to Bob Saget's Here For You. And when you rate it and review it, think something positive. Think of good things. If you're thinking something negative, you got to be honest, but think something positive. Anyway, thank you guys. I hope you're all doing well as you can be doing. I did not read that. I made that up right off the top of my head. I wish you all a lot of health and a lot of safety. And let's get through all this time together. And I'm here for you if you need me. Have a good one.